Good evening, everybody. This is Cruiser Chris from the Cruiser Chris World Network, and I am doing a video today asking everybody this question. Do you think that the Vikings, that's right, the Minnesota Vikings, the football team from the great state of Minnesota here, will be looking for a new coach at the end of the season? Please leave your comments in the comments section below this video. And in this video, I'm going to make it about a 10-minute video. I'm going to explain why I think that the Vikings, and these are just my opinions, I want to make this very clear, will be looking for a new coach at the end of the season. We'll begin by saying that the Vikings' current record for the 2020 season is 6-9, which means they have 6 wins and 9 losses to the record this year. They, in previous years, have had several opportunities to go to championship rounds for the NFC and have failed, and have participated in several different playoff games where they have lost. And I get it that it was hard this year because of the situation that the country is currently in. But I will tell you this. It's a bit disturbing to watch the Vikings year after year after year, especially when you've been a diehard Vikings fan for the whole of your life almost, and see them get to a place where they are having success and then do some boneheaded thing at the very last minute and then end up losing the game. Like, for example, in 1998, the Vikings were at the NFC Championship game, and they missed a field goal, and they missed an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl because they missed this field goal. In 2009, much more recent than 1998, they missed a field goal that would have given them a chance to go to the Super Bowl then as well. Because of these situations, I believe that the coach needs to be replaced, and I'm wondering if you agree with me, or do you have maybe some other suggestions as to how we could fix the Vikings' problems so that they can be a better performing football team in the future? I'll begin with this. I think you need to find a new place kicker, because when you have a game that is close, and points are everything in the National Football League, you need to have a kicker that's reliable. So that is where I would first start. Then we need to get a coach into the Vikings organization that is a little bit more innovative and just doesn't rely on one thing and repeating that one thing, even though it has failed before. And so this is why I say that the Vikings need to replace their coach with a new coach. One that is more innovative and that takes more of a risk. Not that I don't like Zimmer. He's a very good coach, but I think he's a bit past his prime for coaching in the National Football League. Once again, these are just my opinions, and if you like what you see, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing to help spread the word about what we are doing here at the Cruiser Chris World Network, so that we can grow our support. For example, in the Saints game on Friday, they could have very easily won that game if they would have had a defense that actually knew how to play defense. Well, we've had trouble playing defense during the season, all season. So the question is, why are we having trouble playing defense? Because we have the players that know how to play defense, but is it the coaching? Is it the way that they are being trained this year? Do you think, and I want to make something very clear, I'm not calling for the coach's head. I think that there are some things that need to be improved, but what does everybody else think? What do you think the Vikings can do to improve their situation next year? Because to be really honest with you, I'm getting tired of watching games that the Vikings play and seeing them win, and then they win again, and then they win again, and then a few weeks later they start losing. And then why does this have to happen? And what precipitated me to do this video is I watched the Seattle game yesterday evening, or afternoon to early evening here in the Central Time Zone. And I watched how Seattle played, and I was very impressed with the way that their coaches managed the game yesterday. I was also very impressed with how the defense for Seattle played. And I want to have a coach like they have in Seattle for the Minnesota Vikings, so that we can be successful like they have been over the past few years. Now, I get it that you can bring a different coach in, but that doesn't make it a success right away. A coach has to bring in a culture. So that brings me back to my original question. What do we think is wrong with the Vikings in 2020? And what can they improve upon in 2021? Is it the way they're being taught? Is it the fact that they've been dealt some rather odd circumstances this year with the situation? Some people would say yes. I, however, tend to believe that no matter whether you're dealt a certain situation or you know, or not, you still have to come through and perform. Because if you're in a regular job and you're dealt with a situation like the one we are in, you still have to perform that job. I'll give you an example. Okay, I'm going to use law enforcement as an example here. If I had a law enforcement officer and this law enforcement officer said, well, sir, we're going through a pandemic right now and we need you, and we don't know that we can perform life-saving duties. You know what I would say to that officer? I would say, I understand that you might have a few more challenges to doing your job, but even though you have a few more challenges, you still need to step up and do your job the way it needs to be done. So that's an example that I can give you that I've seen in my daily life of different things. So to make a long story short, something needs to happen with the Vikings, whether it be new players, a new coach, a new general manager. Something needs to happen with the Vikings to make them be better for next year. The question is, what do you think needs to happen with the Vikings to make them better for next year? Please leave your answers to these questions in the comments section below, and I'll be happy to respond to them. If you would like to subscribe, and share to the Cruiser Chris World Network, we would be very happy to have you be a part of our social media family. Thank you for your support, and have a good day, everyone. This has been a presentation of the Cruiser Chris World Network.